Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, I recently made some content on what my humble opinion, is possibly the best value G-Shock out there with the most features in it per pound, per buck. Anyway, and that is the GWM 5610U, which is the one that I have here. One of my only complaints, and it was ever so slight complaint, is similar to the GA 2100, the strap on it is just a little bit meh. But there's a very simple fix for it. Most, in fact all straps could probably be changed. So this is just a quick piece of content on how you can take this from a 99.9% perfect watch to the perfect watch for you with some lug adapters. So I'll turn the camera around and we'll take a closer look at how we can change this straps thing. Yes, let's go. So here I have my GWM 5610U. Now what I've done is I have taken one of the straps off already just to show some of the uninitiated maybe out there how this works. But all I've needed to buy is another strap. These are Archer straps. I got these from Amazon. They are quick release and these are 22mm lug width straps. Now you're probably thinking, oh, you've probably seen something like this before, and you have. I did make some content on this. If I zoom out just a wee bit. So you can buy these lug adapters from J's and K's. They have a store on eBay. They also have a store on Etsy as well. And I recently made some content on the GAB 2100. The strap on these two are identical as far as from here down, and it just didn't really impress me. So the lug adapters that I got on this one are 16 to 22mm lug adapters, and these are the plastic versions. But J's and K's also do metal versions as well, so I thought I'd just show you this extra piece of content. Put those to one side. So I've already took this one off. Now, when it all arrives from J's and K's, in here you do get a little lug tool. Now if you can see, on one end there's almost like a little forky kind of end, and then on the other end there is there's just a poke. Now that poke is a pass-through, so that if you need to be able to get, if it's a watch that it has drilled through lugs, you can do it that way. These watches don't. What these have is, for people that are new to this, they have a small spring here in the back. Now this spring pushes in on both sides. It's a spring bar. So when this is on the watch, it just fits in there, which is your 16mm width, which is from here to here, and these are the lugs. So to do this, you can move the wider bit of the width, but that's actually going to be under here. But if you'll see, there are these small little pins that you push in and then pull out. So you just have to push this tool in, rake it in ever so slightly, and then you'll be able to see these come out, and you can save those. Now the main reason I showed you how that way is just to show you how the mechanics of it works, because when you've actually got this in here, you just have this really small, maybe a millimeter, maybe possibly even less. No, actually it's definitely more than a millimeter. But what you have to do is you just have to push that in and then pull it down. You might have to do it a few times. The first one almost kind of moves it. The second one just makes sure that it pulls it out, and then you'll be able to see with a little bit of a wiggle, you now have your straps free. Just in case you do lose these pins, when you get everything from J's and K's, they do supply 2 additional pins in here, which hopefully, if you can see, are pretty much identical to the original ones as well. And then you get these 2 adapters. So what this does is it takes it from a 16mm lug width and it opens it up to a 22mm lug width. Now that's the important thing here, is that when you go to buy a second strap, or you go to purchase a strap that you want to replace it with, that you make sure that it is a 22mm lug width. If you get a 20mm, it's not, well, it's just going to come out, and a 24, yeah, just won't fit in there. So all you have to do is, if you can see, there is a hole, a little pass through there, so you put your spring bar into that. Now what I find the easiest way to do this is if you imagine there is a hole on that side and there's a hole on that side. So the easiest way for me is to seat the first one. So put that one in and make sure that it's in the first hole, which it is now. Once you've done that, taking the little fork end again, we can start to get this in. Now I'm not going to lie, it is a bit of a fiddle, but once you've got the first one in, you'll find that the second one goes in ever so slightly easier because you know what you're doing. Now I'm just trying to get this in. So it's not particularly difficult. Now the only reason that I'm struggling at the moment is mainly because I'm just trying to get this in whilst being able to show you on camera, which is always tricky. There you go. So there's the first one. Oh no. So it is a bit of a lesson in patience, which again, sorry, I'm just going to take this off camera, mainly because I just need to be able to get close so I can actually see what I'm doing. Right, there we go. So now when you get that second pin in, so as I say, so I tend to seat that first one. When you get the second one in, you'll just hear a really kind of high-pitched little kind of almost like a tick kind of noise. So that way you know that the spring has pushed itself in and it's seated perfectly on that second part. So now I will do the second one. So again, I just seat in the first bit. Apologies for doing this off camera again, I just want to make sure, because it's, like I say, it's not particularly difficult to do, it's only tricky to do when you're doing this on camera. So the fork end, you can grab down on the springs, and there you go. So the second one in got in really easy. Now, and that's it, you're done. I got something wrong before, so I do apologise. What I meant to say was, when you get these springs, so the springs that come with the watch, which are these here, you'll reuse those. The two additional ones, because these are the two additional ones that I had with this one, so the two additional ones are 22mm springs so that you can put them in there. But for me, in this instance, because this is a watch that I've already had, then I know that I can use these, and these are quick release ones. So you just seat that first one, pull down on the pin, put that one into place, that one's in, and then you can do exactly the same with the top here. Apologies if you just missed that bit, but again, so in here there is a little pin, you pull that down with a fingernail. Oops. Again, you know, this isn't particularly difficult to do. It's only difficult to do when you're trying to do it on camera. Oh, honestly, I've done this 1,000 times. And then you can push that in. Now, with these being metal, come on, Randy, you do get a slightly different finish to it. Now, on the GA2100, the lug adapters on here, these are plastic, and it's actually a very similar texture and feel to the rest of the watch, whereas with this one, with them being metal and coated, it just gives almost a light kind of metallic look to it, which is, it's just a slightly different look. If you find that you struggle also with the original straps because you might find that they're slightly short, just imagine now that you've got this strap, but you've also got an extra 3, maybe 4mm here and 3, maybe 4mm there as well, which gives you an extra little bit more length. But if you wanted to swap around some of these, it really is as simple as you use that little quick release bit on there, put it into this one, push it down. That one's in, that one's changed, And you can do exactly the same with this one. It gives you a lot more options. Now, as already mentioned, you also get some 22mm bars for this. So if you had a NATO strap and you wanted to run this with a NATO strap, I just pushed my car on the floor there, sorry about that. You could do exactly the same, and you could have a really nice NATO strap for this. Now what I'll do is I'll make sure I leave some links to these Archer bands down in the description below, and I'll also leave some links to J's and K's so that you can see more from them. Actually, while I've got it here, I might as well put one on my wrist. Currently wearing my Casio Jura. I can put this through, put it on. It just feels like a better watch. These straps are really, really nice. And it just seems to look better on my wrist. One of the other differences is that the Casio straps are quite thin when they get down towards the end, whereas these straps keep a nice same distance all the way around, even though I'm wearing a silicone and a canvas one at the moment, but I think that really finishes off this watch. Now, if you like the original straps, there's no right or wrong to this. Like the majority of things, it all comes down to personal taste. For me, I just wasn't a fan of those OG straps on here, and this is a very simple and reasonably inexpensive way to be able to update it, to turn it into the watch that I feel that it should have been. The lugs, I can't remember exactly how much the lug adapters are. I'll put those here. The straps go from, say, from £10, $10 all the way up to £20, $20, which is roughly £30, $30, probably roughly the same in euros as well. Very simple, very easy, doesn't take a lot of skill. I fudged it quite a bit, mainly because I'm trying to do this on camera. When you've done it a few times, especially once those lugs are on here, it's super simple, super easy to be able to change those over. So yeah, there you go. That is how I take the GWM 5610U to a higher scale with just a very simple watch strap change. Hope you enjoyed today's piece of content. I will leave links to all of the things that you can see below here today. And yes, hope you all had a new year, and there'll be some more watch content coming soon. But for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC.